Coming to you live from Adam and Ditto, it's the Dragonite Show, featuring Josh and Ricky.
Alright, everybody. Tonight, we're talking about the new Pokemon. And since we didn't talk about a few Pokemon before, we're going to start with those. I have here with me today Josh and Ricky.
Hey.
What's up, party people?
Thanks so much for having me on the show. You probably get this from all your guests, but I'm actually a big fan of the show. It's really great to be here.
Yeah. We appreciate you coming out and being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for what we're doing today, I'm going to get y'all's opinions on each of the Pokemon. We'll probably start off with Josh and then go on to Rick. You can talk about what you like about that Pokemon, and from there I'll give my opinion. How's that sound?
Sure.
Okay. So the first Pokemon we're going to talk about is Rockruff, the dog Pokemon that was first seen in that one part of that one video.
Well, technically, we got like a glimpse of him in one of the early trailers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Weren't they in... Wasn't he in the Koro magazine?
He was. That's where he made like his first full appearance, but we saw his backside in one of the trailers.
Yeah. So, Josh, what do you think of this dog Pokemon?
I really like it. I think it's kind of interesting that it's a rock type. As you know, most beginning of the game Pokemon are generally, either normal type, but then again we have Poochyena, who is part dark, who is dark.
Yeah, entirely dark.
Mm-hmm. And edgy.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Ricky?
Oh, I'm a big fan. Dogs are great. I like dogs, and this is a good dog. He looks like he's a very loyal partner.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
I'm also, like you, interested in the fact that he's a rock type. That should be. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it evolves into something that'll probably be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So. Oh yeah. What about its abilities? You think Kenai and or Vital Spirit are good ones?
I mean, I don't think either of them is like a great ability, but they're both useful in certain situations. I mean, having your accuracy lowered sucks, like always. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's nice to not have that happen to you, but it like moves that comparatively, like Sand Attack and Flash, are not used very often.
Right.
So, Vital Spirit prevents sleep.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, more useful than Kenai. But
oh yeah, definitely.
Again, it like Spore and like Yawn are not super common. I don't think.
No, but they are probably. Well, those are the sleep ones you'll see. In competitive
and you
play.
might see the rare like Sleep Powder or Lovely Kiss, but.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's nice. They're both nice to have, but I don't think either one of them is gonna like make Rockruff like a big powerhouse that everybody needs to worry about.
Oh yeah.
And it's also possible that its evolution might have completely different abilities. If it evolves.
Right. I just think Vital Spirit is a really good one for a puppy Pokemon because.
Oh sure, yeah.
Dogs are restless.
Especially puppies, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But how about you, Don?
What do I think of Rockruff? Well, I do like dogs more than cats, so this dog is up my alley. Aside from that, like you mentioned, it's interesting that it's a rock type. Mm-hmm. Rockruff. Rockruff, the rock type. I'm thinking maybe because like it's a rock type, like Stone Edge has like low accuracy. You don't want to get that lowered even more, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
So
that's a fair point. A lot of rock moves have low accuracy, in fact.
So
don't want to have it even lower than it already is.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
All right, next up is Komala. which is the koala Pokemon.
I think it's great we finally have a koala Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. I guess.
It's just a big oval thing right in the middle of their face.
Well, on Rowlet it's a beak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Komala doesn't have a beak.
Yeah. It's got a wood pillow instead.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Koalas are really cool animals in real life.
Mm-hmm.
They're very lazy. So I think this is like an appropriate koala Pokemon who's like always asleep, which is the thing that intrigues me most about Komala is his ability, Comatose, which is a new ability. I'm not fully clear yet on if it's just like, because the way it's worded, it says it can only be affected by the sleep status. Does that mean like it can be awake and you put it to sleep, or does that mean that it's just always asleep? Because the like little flavor text says that it's like never been seen awake, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which leads me to believe that he'll be always asleep in battle, which really does intrigue me, you know, because that protects you from any other status. He can't be poisoned or burned or paralyzed, and that might force you to attack with moves like Snore and Sleep Talk, and maybe like that will give him some new moves that work when you're asleep. You know, I'm really, really excited and interested to see what they do with that, because it's just something we've never seen before, and it sounds like fun, and it's cute.
And maybe it'll evolve into a badass thing like Pancham.
Yeah.
He'll have like just two. He'll be like
Conkeldurr.
Yes, with wood. So like just a baby from Conkeldurr's line.
I want to see him wear pajamas. If he's gonna be asleep all the time, you gotta cover up.
You don't sleep in the nude?
Not often.
No.
Alright then.
Josh, did you give your thoughts on Komala yet?
I really like the design. Because it's a normal type, Snore and Sleep Talk. Well, Sleep Talk uses any move randomly. But Snore especially, it's a stab Snore. So that's also cool.
Is that important?
No, but not necessarily.
Well, if you have to use Snore to attack, then it'll be nice if it gets the stab off.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it's a special attacker too, because Snore is a special attack.
Mm-hmm. I think Comatose is just like if you use rest, you go to sleep. I don't think it will always be asleep, but we don't know yet.
When you use rest, you go to sleep without the ability. I feel like it wouldn't be that way.
Right.
You're saying it'll just you'll only be able to have the sleep status inflicted on you. No
right, like how Kenai, they can still use the move on you. It'll just say it's not affected by it. But like I said, we don't know yet, so.
So this
find out.
Like either way, it seems to be immune to everything but sleep.
Yes.
So that's pretty good to be like to avoid like crippling statuses like paralyzed.
There are Pokemon like electric types can't be paralyzed, and fire types can't be burned, and poison types can't be poisoned. But I don't believe currently there's a Pokemon that can't be burned, paralyzed, or poisoned at all. You know, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons I'm very excited to see what Komala's all about.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I want to see if and what it evolves into. I'm assuming it's a one of the early Pokemon you've run into.
Could be the.
It seems to be what they're showing off first. That kind of thing, yeah.
Would do.
I mean, it is a normal type like mammal. It makes me think of like Rattata and Sentret. Zigzagoon, yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
Could be that one. Yep. All right, let's move on to the next one. Pikipek.
Nice. The first Pokemon we saw of this generation.
Oh, is that Pokemon from the like
Yep.
Maya polygons? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Josh, go ahead.
So I really like the design. It's one of my favorite early bird designs. It was shown off at E3. We didn't see it like immediately, but we did get a glimpse of it. From the Pokedex and what they said at E3, it does evolve twice, so it is the early Pidgey like Pokemon of this generation.
Yeah.
No surprise. I don't know. I just really like the design.
Cool looking.
Yeah, it's a woodpecker, and it learns. One of its abilities is Skill Link.
Yeah, which intrigues me because
Skilling has potential to be.
Skilling is very useful, yeah, but there's not like most of the multi-hit attacks are like elemental, or else don't make sense for a bird. Like the normal ones that aren't like don't have a specific type attached to them are like tail slap, double slap, or like comet punch, you know. And like a bird, I don't see a bird using any of those, so I'm wondering it'll probably get Fury Attack. That one makes a little more sense, but that's actually one of the like weakest multi-hit moves.
I think maybe they'll make a flying type version of it, like multi-peck or something.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. I think that would be kind of interesting and cool, you know.
What if its wings grows into hands? Like Lugia.
I wouldn't count on that.
Double slap with Lugia's hands.
Double kick.
I have a feeling that this bird isn't going to be too good. Not gonna lie. I feel
we'll see.
With it being normal flying, just from what we know so far.
I mean, that's fair to say. The thing is that Swellow and Staraptor are both like very good, and the last normal flying bird that we got in the form of Unpheasant kind of sucked.
Yeah, Unpheasant was ugly too.
Well, I mean, yes, but I'm just talking about like usefulness. It was not very good, especially compared to Staraptor and Swellow, who are not probably neither of them as useful as Talonflame, but still they had their own niche that they could fill, you know.
That's also something to remember. Talonflame starts as Fletchling, which is also normal flying. Which,
so yes,
that doesn't necessarily mean this guy will be will end up being normal flying, but based on past trends, I could see that happening.
I mean, that is true. This Pokemon can change from normal flying to something else. Like, I don't know, electric flying. Why not? I'm just throwing out a random type out there.
Seems to be a lot of electric types this gen, so.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I suppose that's good. What does it have to do with Hawaii? A lot of lightning over there?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just Melee Island, for all we know. I mean, there are 4 islands, so.
I don't know what you're getting at.
There could be, like...
a lot of electric types in the first area.
Yeah. And, maybe, like, fire types on a different island, water on another, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. You said Melee Island? Like...
Yeah, that's the name of the first
name of the island.
Oh, okay.
Of the Alola region.
Oh. I'm a fraud.
Yeah.
I was also thinking that, like, with Talonflame's too good. I think they wouldn't make another good, like, bird Pokemon immediately after. Enough good bird Pokemon for now.
Yeah, they need something to check Talonflame.
I think that's pretty much it for Pikipek. Looks cool. I like the color scheme on it, especially. Black and red goes nice together.
And white.
Yeah, and white. skill link has potential, but who knows when it'll happen.
We'll see. I mean, that's kind of what, we should preface these videos with, like, it's all wait and see at this point.
Of course.
I'm a big fan of Pikipek. It looks like Pearl from Steven Universe.
It does.
I can see it.
Its hidden ability is strong in the real way.
So the next Pokemon that we're going to be talking about is Yungoos.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been saying this Pokemon looks like Donald Trump.
It kind of does.
I was kind of hoping we could, not mention that. But...
Well, okay, if we weren't going to mention it, somebody in the comments was going to mention it. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a TV show. We don't get commenters on late night television.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to send us fan mail?
Send us tweets to @Don right now.
Yeah.
I'll read it on the show right now. Okay.
No one? Okay, let's move on.
Okay, Josh, what do you think about this Mongoose Pokemon?
Zangoose did it better, but I do like it. It's definitely one of the weaker designs of this generation so far, but most early things are kind of bad. Like, look at Patrat. Just look at it.
I like Patrat. I don't like its crazy eyes that scare me, but
yeah.
Other than that, he's cool. We're cool.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what this guy. Well, this guy would, I guess, be the early Rattata type Pokemon.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Oh yeah.
It's got a new ability in Stakeout. I think that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. Stakeout sounds really scary.
What does Stakeout do for the viewers at home?
So, if you switch in, like, if you're up against a Yungoos with Stakeout, because that he can have Strong Jaw instead, but if he does have Stakeout, and you like switch out, and he attacks whatever comes in, it does twice as damage. So, unlike say like the move Pursuit, which will like hurt the person switching out, the new Pokemon that comes in will have to take a move that's twice as strong as it otherwise would have been, which sounds really scary. That could really shape the metagame. Maybe not Yungoos himself, depending on how good he is or his evolution, but if anything else maybe gets that ability, or even if he does and is strong enough to make use of it, that could be a big deal. That could be a game changer.
And I agree. Like, even if it's not Yungoos here, that ability coming into existence, like another Pokemon can get this ability.
Yeah.
They could probably do some serious damage with it.
Probably not older Pokemon though, which is kind of sad.
No, that's not necessarily true. I feel like
you think they'll have a second hidden ability?
They could do that if they want.
No, but they could change. They've changed, like, or given secondary abilities to.
Yeah, some Pokemon still have one, right?
Like, yeah, and also like, just for example, like, Breloom. When they introduced Poison Heal in Generation 4, it suddenly had that. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to add new options for abilities to older Pokemon.
Yeah. And something that's interesting about Stakeout, like with the way it works, there's not a whole lot of stuff in Pokemon that punishes switch-ins.
Yes.
Aside from, like the arena traps and stuff like that, but
spikes.
Yeah, spikes.
Stealth Rock.
Yeah.
Sticky Web.
So having another option to punish that is just, I think, a good idea.
I definitely, it's one of those things where, like, usually when you switch, it's because you either don't feel safe or you can't do anything against the Pokemon you're currently lined up against.
Right.
So if you're like, well, I can't touch this Yungoos or this whatever, I'm gonna switch to something else. that can deal with it. Suddenly, because of Stakeout, maybe you can't deal with it. You know, maybe. I just really think that's gonna. One of the biggest things about competitive Pokemon battling is the mind games and trying to get inside the head of your opponent. And I think that Stakeout is gonna really provide and create some fascinating mind games.
Yes. On the other hand, like say you throw in a Pokemon that sort of checks Yungoos, and the move that you use is like double resisted or something.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be too good of an idea. It would hit for half as much or neutral or whatever, if that makes any sense. So you're just like mitigating the resistance.
Right, but even in a case like that, like if he switched to like Aggron and he uses a normal attack or whatever, it's still a nice thing to do. It's just always, there's never like a reason you wouldn't want to do twice the damage on something. You know, it's just nice to have.
Fair enough. No?
I see what you're saying, and you're right though that there's going to be checks for it that can take that double hit, but you know, still be good.
Yeah.
Not a big fan. Not a big fan of Yungoos design-wise.
Yungoos is whatever, but the Stakeout ability is definitely interesting. Very, very interesting.
I was just gonna say, I think it would be fine if its teeth weren't like that.
Yeah, I don't. It's the teeth that look to me very much like a fan design, like somebody who's making sprites that doesn't quite know how to make sprites, so they just draw a zigzag.
Who else has teeth like that? Chain Chomp?
Maybe Sharpedo. But, Sharpedo can have its mouth open and closed. I don't know who else has a mouth like that, though. That looks like a familiar thing on a Pokemon, though. Not very familiar, but...
Not a fan.
Okay. Alright. Let's move on to the next Pokemon. The next Pokemon we'll be talking about is Grubbin.
Yeah.
Big fan. Big fan of Grubbin.
Pokemon. Yeah. Let's start off with you this time, Rick.
Oh, okay. I just think that, first of all, the name Grubbin is it's fun to say. It's just a fun-sounding word, Grubbin.
I'm always grubbing.
And it's just a cute, funny-looking bug Pokemon with these big old pincers and these tiny little knot feet. And I don't know, I just like it a lot. I'm assuming it's going to be sort of like, Caterpie and Weedle and Wurmple and Kricketot or whatever. The nice bug that will evolve quickly and be pretty decent. And I think it's might be my favorite of all of those, to be honest. I think I like it a lot more than the ones I just mentioned. So.
Yeah.
I really like Grubbin too. I like how it's like hat, for lack of a better word, is makes it kind of like angry looking.
Yeah, it kind of sections off its eyes to make it look like it's I could see that.
Is it all?
No, I mean, like, its ability is just kind of standard for a bug type.
Yeah.
Just swarm.
Yeah, well, that changes when it evolves, so.
Okay. Grubbin's really cool looking. But let's go ahead and talk about what it evolves into. Charjabug.
Yeah.
Charjabug.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to Charjabug?
Yes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
You made that joke on Twitter.
On Twitter, I know.
Yeah, you tweeted that, and I laughed. So
yes,
pretty good. I like it.
I like Charjabug as well.
I'm also a big fan of Charjabug. I love how square it is.
I'm a huge fan of Charjabug because it essentially comes with every iPhone. It's the part you plug into the wall.
Yeah.
And I just think that's hilarious.
It's so. Just look at it, man. It's just a big old cube. It's great. Like it again. It's supposed to be like Grubbin has put himself in like some sort of cocoon, you know.
Yeah.
But because it's electric, it also kind of looks like a battery, which I think is that's clever. I think that's a good design, and I just love how square it is. It just cracks me up. I think I like it better than Metapod or Kakuna, or definitely Cascoon and Silcoon.
Yeah, they're just circles.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it looks like a bus, and that's my immediate thought too.
Charjabug.
Yeah. Really, really funny looking design. I like it a lot.
Yeah, big fan. Big fan.
I'm glad they're having fun with the designs rather than just like, okay, this has to look like this.
Something I appreciate about the whole line is that they all look like you can tell they evolved from each other, but they all look very distinct. You know, it's not like a Butterfree is Venonat's head situation, even though I know that's not the same line, but it just it looks like a bug's life cycle. Where you don't even recognize the original one by the time you get to the third one, you know. But you kind of can because they're Pokemon, so they had to. But I'm a big fan of the whole line. I guess spoilers.
Yeah. Okay. Before we move on to the third one, let's talk about Charjabug's ability, Battery.
Yeah, it's new.
Yeah, new ability.
What does it do?
It increases the power of ally Pokemon special moves. So it's for like double and triple battles.
Oh.
Which could be pretty... It doesn't say by how much, but that could be a pretty cool thing for double battles. If it's like at least like 1.3, which is like Life Orb, that's a lot, you know. Even if it's 1.2, you're getting it for free, you know.
Right.
Which is significant. So I think I mean obviously you're not gonna see Charjabug used in doubles because it's a middle form, you know.
Yeah, maybe Eviolite.
I know Eviolite's a thing, but again, I'm expecting this to be an early bug Pokemon, so I'm not thinking that Charjabug stats are gonna be usable even with Eviolite. I might be wrong though. I mean, we don't know, but I'm just thinking that something else with Battery is gonna be like, ooh, that's gonna be a game changer again.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people say. Okay. I heard a lot of people say that maybe Plusle and Minun could also get Battery, which would be interesting, I think.
Even Clink and Clang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything with plus or minus.
Yeah. Ampharos.
It'll be interesting. Can't wait to
see
what they do.
Yeah, I don't know if we will see that, but there's no reason we couldn't.
Okay, let's move on to the final evolution for Grubbin, the Grubbin line. Vikavolt, or Vikavolt, or Vikavolt. I don't know.
I've just been saying Vikavolt.
Vic Viper.
Vic Viper.
I mean, the design is clearly based on Vic Viper, I think.
It's based on a stag beetle.
No way. Well, I mean, yes, but I strongly believe that it's based on the Vic Viper. And for those of you who don't know, that's the spaceship in Gradius.
Right. It does have. I mean, I can see that. I see why you would say that because it's got those prongs.
Yeah.
And it does kind of look like just a cool spaceship.
Yeah, like Mega Salamence. Mega Salamence also looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, but I hate Mega Salamence.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people do.
Well, I can tell you, I really love Vikavolt. I think it's one of the coolest bug-type Pokemons I've ever seen. Second only to Heracross.
Yeah.
And maybe Scizor.
It's I'm a big fan of it too. I think it's a really, really cool just bug Pokemon in general. But again, if it does end up being the early game bug, I think it's the coolest one.
Yeah, definitely.
It is super cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And, another interesting thing about it is the ability to levitate. You know, it's a bug electric type Pokemon that won't get shit on by earthquake.
Yeah. I believe bug already resists ground. So it would have been neutral on it, but being immune to something is always way better than being neutral to something. And that means it'll pretty much only be weak to rock and fire, because it being part electric means it's not weak to flying.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, does it?
Yeah, electric resists flying.
Huh. All right then.
Yeah. So that's very cool. I love. I mean, we've seen bug electric before, and I do love
Galvantula.
Galvantula. It's an awesome Pokemon.
Galvantula is electric bug?
Yep.
Oh, fair enough. But Galvantula didn't have levitate, so. I think that's interesting. I think it's going to be a pretty cool Pokemon.
I'm just kidding. Galvantula is actually bug electric. That song is inaccurate.
Yeah, those fuckers.
I don't think they were describing its type. I think they were just describing its form.
Yeah. Electric bug.
Are you accusing the presidents of the United States of America of not doing their proper research?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, they're wrong, or they're right, but they're also wrong.
I think you guys are super full of it. Obviously, everybody knows that Herdier is a loyal friend to us.
I know it's not like a. You guys brought up Galvantula, and I know it's not a spider, but I want to see Sticky Web on this.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see Sticky Web on a slightly better Pokemon. If Vikavolt is super amazing, give me that Sticky Web. All over my face.
I was just thinking, like, that's what she said or something, and then, yeah, you definitely.
Oh my.
Alright. Well, moving on. Let's talk about Drampa.
Yeah. You'll hear this a lot. With all of these Pokemon, I really like this guy's design.
I love Dragon Grandpa.
Yeah.
That was a visual novel by Spike Chunsoft, right?
Wait, what?
Dragon Grandpa? Oh, alright. Forget it.
Well, I'm just wondering, is that really where the name is from? Dragon Grandpa?
Yeah, its name in Japan is Jiji Run, and Jiji meaning old man, and Run meaning like long, the Chinese word for dragon. So I'm pretty confident that Drampa is just Dragon Grandpa.
See.
That's his typing, Dragon Grandpa.
Well, it's normal dragon, which is interesting. That is new,
Yeah, that is a new, unique type thing. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when I first saw this guy, and like it showed him attack in the trailer, I always thought that like when it puts its arms up, it was like two ghosts on his hands instead of the claws. Which I was like, oh, is this like a ghost dragon? And no, it's dragon normal, and I love it.
Yeah, I think the design is really fun. I love just look at it. It's like an old man grandpa dragon with like dreadlocks and a beard. He's just like, hey, I'm an old man dragon. I don't know. He reminds me of Falcor from the Neverending Story.
Yeah. A lot of people have been saying that, which might be this inspiration too. But let's talk about its abilities. Sap Sipper is pretty interesting for it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, grass isn't like a super common attacking type, but it's a nice thing. The immunity to grass is what makes it nice, you know? Like, if you got like a Swampert sitting out there like, hey, don't you want to hit me with a grass type, fella? And then they're like, I got you. And then you just switch to something with Sap Sipper. That's always nice, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think that'll be interesting. It's not like being a dragon type, he already resists grass, though. So it's not like people are going to be throwing out grass moves when he's just out there, you know?
It'd be something, you know, you would switch in.
Yeah.
To cover grass.
Yeah.
Right. I want to mention that normal dragon, just like weakness and like advantages, they kind of suck.
Because it's weak to fighting.
Yeah, it's weak to fighting. Of course, it's weak to ice. Of course.
And dragon and fairy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't suck. That's only 4 things. But it does. You are right that anytime you pair something with normal, you are introducing a fighting weakness without covering any of your other weaknesses. You know? But he is immune to ghost. So.
Yeah.
That's one nice thing that normal type has going for it.
Yeah. And with the addition of Sap Sipper, you would have the immunity to grass.
Immunity to grass, yeah. So, I mean, 2 immunities on one thing is not bad, I must say.
Oh, no.
But I will say, I think his other ability might get some more use, being Berserk, which increases your special attack when your HP is below 50%.
Yeah, that's another ability that's very interesting to me. And I like the previous one that we talked about. Was it Battery? Yeah, we don't know how much it increases it by, but I'm assuming it's going to be 1.5 because that's what like Moxie and like Intimidate and other moves that change your stats. It's usually like by 1 level, you know, when it's done to you.
Right.
I'm assuming it'll be 1.5, which is pretty significant. That means if he's more tanky, or even if you give him like a focus sash or whatever, you know, that'll be a nice thing to have. Berserk definitely intrigues me.
Yeah. Which also means he's a special attacker, which is, I just think that's interesting.
You're right.
Berserk only boosts special attack?
Yes. It sounds like it would boost attack, but no.
Crazy old man. I'm about to die. I'd be going Berserk too. I especially like the dreadlocks, I must say. I think putting dreadlocks on a dragon is cool. Oh, another thing I want to mention is I do like that it's sort of like a Chinese style dragon. We don't have enough of those dragons in Pokemon. I mean, there's like Rayquaza,
Gyarados,
I guess.
Dratini.
Yeah, Dratini. But
you're right, though, that
most dragons are like bipedal, you know.
Western dragons, yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
So.
And I agree that it is always nice to get Eastern dragons, which you'd think we'd have more of, considering this is a game series made in Japan. But
Yeah. Okay. Moving on, we're going to be talking about the fish gnash teeth Pokemon, Bruxish. A lot of people are appalled by this Pokemon's design. Let's start off with you, Josh. Go ahead.
Alright, so you're not really gonna believe this. I actually kind of like the design, and it's don't get me wrong, it's ugly, but it's ugly on purpose, rather than trying to be like cute or cool. It's ugly on purpose.
See, I agree with you, Josh. A lot of people really hate this design because it's ugly, but I respect that they intentionally made it ugly. You know, I like it.
Interesting. All right.
It's also kind of like a mix of two different actual fish, which is also interesting.
Go ahead.
Which
those fish?
Yeah.
The filefish and the triggerfish.
Is there another name for the triggerfish?
The humu fish. That's what it shortens to. It is a very long name, and I can see why Game Freak just decided to make it short, except for its Japanese name.
Hagigi Shiri.
Yes.
Hagigi Shiri. That isn't too far from Hamana Kunu Kupua.
Yes. Yes. That's that is the fish. It is. You might have missed like a huma or a kun.
I love when you started with Hamana, which I know is not what it is.
Well, there's no N. It's huma.
Okay. Well, Hamana is like the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's what the character says when they're like aghast at a beautiful lady.
Oh yeah. This beautiful Pokemon. Oh yeah.
Dazzling, you might say.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this Pokemon?
I'm not a fan, but
Like,
I
cool.
don't hate it. To be honest, I don't. A good friend of mine by the name of Matt said, in no uncertain terms, that it was one of the worst Pokemon ever, and I don't know that I would go that far. I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan. It reminds me of the racist fluke fish from Little Mermaid,
No.
who is the Duke of Seoul. And I don't know. Anything that reminds me of something racist, I don't think is super great. But it's okay. Like you guys said, it's ugly on purpose.
That one Pokemon from 6th Gen, or Jinx. You know, Jinx is ugly on purpose.
Who's that one Pokemon?
The one that's like perfume or something like that.
I love Aromatisse.
Yeah, Aromatisse.
Everybody hates Aromatisse,
Exactly.
but she's one of my favorites.
Exactly.
I think this is the Pokemon we'll get heart scales from just because of its tail and its lips.
I don't know about that, because they didn't give Alomomola hard scales. It's still just Love Disc.
I thought they did. I could be wrong. Alright then, never mind. Yeah, I really like its ability though.
Yeah, Dazzling, which blocks priority attacks, like Quick Attack. It doesn't like remove their priority status. It just makes them fail completely as an attack.
Mm-hmm.
That is that's a super duper game changer ability right there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is gonna, even if Bruxish doesn't have like the stats to make it work, that's still a huge boon to it, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's priority, especially with stuff like Talonflame, like we talked about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
or anything with Prankster, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which to be fair, we don't know if Dazzling will work on abilities like Prankster and Gale Wings.
See, I'm assuming it is. And I feel like when I first heard about Dazzling and knowing that this Pokemon was going to be at least water type, it's going to be a check for Talonflame. It's like basically slaps it in the face.
That's a fair point, yeah. I'm also operating under the assumption that it will do that, because I believe the description for Dazzling says blocks moves with increased priority, not blocks priority moves, you know, but like if the priority is increased somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That might just be vagary, you know, like They might just not have worded that perfectly, but that's my assumption as well, that it will work on abilities like Prankster and Gale Wings, which is scary.
Yeah.
It's scary even if it doesn't work on those abilities, you know? Because, like I said, it doesn't just turn them into regular attacks, it makes them not hit at all.
Yeah.
So, if you're something like, I don't know, Ambipom or Mega Lopunny that really likes to start off with a free fake out, it's like, sorry, buddy, but I don't fall for that. And I think that's going to be, I was talking earlier about mind games, I think that's going to be really big.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to think carefully about how you approach Bruxish and anything else that might have Dazzling.
Man, that's gonna really screw over Mega Pinsir. Aerial 8 quick attack.
Oh yeah, there's just a lot of things that rely on that, like Technician, Scizor, Bullet Punch, or Choice Band, Azumarill with Aqua Jet. You know, there's just priority is a really dominating, important thing in the metagame, and so when you introduce something that says no, homie, don't play that. That's a big deal. It's going to really shake up the metagame.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
For the better, too, because, you know, it's just... Everything is mind games in Pokemon.
Right. So, even though I'm not a fan of the design...
There's a pretty good chance it's going to be, like, a popular pick.
Yeah, Bruxish might end up being a very powerful Pokemon that might appear on a lot of people's teams. Yeah. So, if you at home are like Matt and think it's one of the ugliest Pokemon ever, you might have to get used to seeing it. Yeah.
I'm under the assumption more things will get Dazzling because, you know, why wouldn't they? But definitely Bruxish is going to be, I think, a contender.
I think being able to check Talonflame, a really popular OU pick, does wonders for it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to the next Pokemon. Cutiefly! Opposite.
Yeah!
Ugly Fish.
Bruxish.
Yeah.
I really like this design.
Yep.
I'm not too big of a fan, but you guys go ahead.
I mean, like, I like its design, like a furry bug. I think it's actually based on something like that, too.
Yeah, it is
from Hawaii.
It's a bee-fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say Honeygather is, like, the worst ability it could have, but Shield Dust kind of makes up for it.
Well, what does Shield Dust do?
Shield Dust blocks the added effects of attacks taken.
Yeah, so like if I don't know why this is the first one coming to mind, but you know, like how Shadow Ball can sometimes lower your special defense. Shield Dust was like, no, that will never happen.
What about like moves that have like a status on it, like I don't know?
Yeah, like a burn chance that
like Fire Fang.
That also won't happen. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
which is very, very useful. Honestly, Shield Dust is a pretty useful ability. Especially now that like Scald is as popular as it is, you know.
Yeah.
Shield Dust is nice to have, but it's only bugs that get it, and there's really not many things that have Shield Dust. So
yeah, it's
that's cool that Cutiefly gets it.
I mean, most notably, Venomoth has it, and that was like its claim to fame.
Yeah. Well. Yeah,
Fox gets it too, and so
I think even on Venomoth, I think Tinted Lens was more useful. But yeah, I like Cutiefly. I think it's cute. It's gonna cause some confusion between Beautyfly and Cutiefly. But that's fine.
Yeah.
What's next?
I like his design.
Tsundere Fly.
Wife of Fly.
Tutti Frutti Fly.
Okay, let's move on from that one.
Fruity yummy mummy fly.
Well, did you not want to explain why you're not a fan?
Oh. No, I don't really like his design. It's just whatever to me.
Okay, that's fair.
It's supposed to be cute, and I don't find it cute.
It reminds me of one of those things from the 1,000-Year Door.
Oh, those like little
The, like
things?
gray things.
Okay.
The punies.
Yeah.
The punies, yeah. Puny flies.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I can see it too.
I always thought those guys were cute.
Yeah, it was really funny in 1,000 Year Door to see them just like 100 of them, just following you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe you'll have 100 cutie flies and swarm battles or whatever. Swarm battles, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to the next Pokemon. The next Pokemon is gonna be the Pikachu of this generation, Togedemaru.
Yeah, I love Togedemaru. He's probably my favorite out of these new guys they showed off.
Togedemaru, by the way, literally translates to spiky and round,
Mm-hmm.
which is very appropriate.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to say.
Why do you like Togedemaru, Josh?
I don't know. I just think it's one of the best Pikachus we got. It's definitely one of the cutest newer ones. To me, it's the cutest one since Pachirisu. Not to say Emolga's not pretty.
I mean, Emolga's just Pachirisu.
Yeah, with wing.
Which is fine, because they're both cool. I just can't believe still that Emolga didn't evolve from Pachirisu.
Mm-hmm. And, Dedenne is just Pikachu with antenna sticking out of its cheeks.
I really wasn't a big fan of Dedenne, just because, like you said, it didn't feel like it took any chances.
Mm-hmm.
It seems pretty blatantly like, here's the Pikachu this time.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how I feel about this, Pikachu. I feel like it's too similar to Pikachu.
That is
it because
that
of his
is
cheeks?
fair to say.
Well, it also has like the markings on his back. His shape of his tail is a lightning bolt.
That is fair to say.
I think it's too close to Pikachu. I don't hate the design, but I don't love it.
I love it.
I know a lot of people love it. Everybody thinks that. And I originally didn't like it, but then I saw like that animation of the quills or whatever. Spikes.
Yeah.
Found out that it's a porcupine.
That's actually kind of cool. So now it's in the middle.
It has iron barbs, which the only other things with iron barbs are the Ferroseed and Ferrothorn.
Yeah, don't say it like that.
Sorry, I'm just going off the Pokedex.
I know why you're saying it like that. I'm the one who told you about that.
I know. That's bad.
And I'm still mad about that. Because they're ferrous, like they're made of iron, so they're ferrous, so they're not feroz. Anyway, when I first saw Togedemaru, Matt showed it to all of us, and I said that looks fake. I said that looks like a leak that somebody like photoshopped together to like here's the new like cute Pikachu.
Yeah, but then also here's this weird fish.
Yeah, that nobody wants. But just immediately I was like, I love this thing. Look at him. Look, he's so cute. Porcupines, hedgehogs are just really cute animals, and when you hear like he's an electric hedgehog, that this probably isn't what you would think of hearing of an electric hedgehog, right? This probably isn't the design you might expect, but I love it. I think that he is so funny looking and cute, and it bums me out that the Pikachus don't get to evolve anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know when that got decided, because Pikachu evolves. But yeah,
well, with the barbs, it's gonna take a hit and then die.
Yeah.
And it'll at least do some damage back.
Yeah, but like, see, that's the thing. Like the Pikachu, because they don't get to evolve, none of them are good.
Yeah.
Like, none of them are good. Like Azumarill, if you want to argue, I mean, it's the only one that's not electric. So you probably could argue that Pichu was supposed to be the Pikachu of second gen. But I think that Meryl and Azumarill are like the cute mascots that they were going for, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
And like Azumarill's super good with huge power. So I don't understand. It upsets me that like none of the other Pikachus get to evolve or be good.
Like Plusle Minun.
Yeah, and Pachirisu and Emolga. Even though Pachirisu won that tournament,
Oh yeah.
you know, that was a very specific set that only works in doubles. And it mostly works because everybody underestimates Pachirisu.
Yeah.
So I just wish that they would stop that and, you know, let them evolve once.
Right.
To potentially be as good as Raichu. Yeah.
Right. At this point, we don't know if it's going to evolve or not, but it won't. It won't.
Somebody a long time ago decided that they just don't evolve. So that's a shame. But regardless of like competitive viability or whatever, I love the design. I think it's absolutely great. I'm surprised a bit at the name because it throws me. That I mean, I know they usually don't change the name of the Pikachu, but I just didn't think that we would get Togedemaru in English because that's such a Japanese. Literally, it's in Japanese. You know, it's regular words in Japanese, spiky and round.
So wait for people to say Toge.
Yeah.
Togedemaru.
Togedemaru.
Togekiss.
Yeah. Togepi.
I think it's funny that it's considered a roly-poly Pokemon, and that's that's interesting.
Well, that's just an adjective. Like, that's not the scientific name for that bug, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. You're fired.
Yeah, those are pill bugs.
Oh, okay.
Those are only colloquially referred to as roly-polies.
Yeah.
Roly-poly-olies. I think that's it for Togedemaru, though.
Well, you talked about Iron Barbs, but no one mentioned anything about Lightning Rod. And
yeah.
Lightning Rod could be
Again, it's like Sepsibur. Immunity to electric is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a little weird on an electric type, though.
It's often
the doubles, so.
Okay. I was gonna say it's often on electric types. Okay, that's it for Toji.
Togedemaru.
Yeah, Togedemaru.
Togedemaru.
Let's talk about the next Pokemon that I think is really cool, and I'll give my thoughts on this first this time around. Tapu Koko. I think this guy looks super badass. He's kind of like Sigilif, except cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just think his design's really cool. It's like sort of that tribal thing going on, and I like it a lot.
I agree.
Me too. I'm assuming this is a legendary Pokemon. I would be okay if it's not. And like you could breed it and stuff, but it's definitely a legendary.
What?
Oh, you're saying that because it's like the guardian of the island?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's a safe bet.
Okay.
It's also genderless, so.
It also seems like you're meeting it at level 60 in the trailer. Which is generally
legendary status.
Right.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was level 60 in the trailer.
Well, that might just be trailer craziness because Litten is also level 60 in that scene, and
Litten.
That something about that doesn't seem right.
Okay, they really wanted to get Flame Wheel quickly, okay?
Flame Wheel's not even good. That's funny. You're funny.
But yeah, I think it's interesting that he's like a chicken Pokemon.
You're a chicken Pokemon.
Well, no, like he's supposedly like that's what Tapu Koko stands for, I guess.
Oh,
I think.
Now.
I think.
Tapu Koko. And
well, I really like the. He's got the shields, the sort of Shaka Khan shields that like come together to make the bird face. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just really cool. And they're, because he's a Pokemon, they're like part of his arms, but part of his like body, rather than like something that he's made.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. I like the design a lot. I like the colors. Something about the black, yellow, and orange makes him look very. He just looks. He is electric type, so I guess it's appropriate. But he just looks like he's strong and full of energy.
Mm-hmm. I will take this design over Blaziken any day.
Because it's a chicken?
Yeah.
Where does it say it's a chicken?
He doesn't look like a chicken at all to me, man. He looks like a spirit.
Yeah. I'll look it up.
Does Tapu Koko translates to chicken? Get an order of Tapu Koko?
Tapu Koko may be a combination of Tapu, Hawaiian for sacred or holy, and Koko, Hawaiian for the sound chickens cackling.
Well, maybe.
And
That's
then its Japanese name.
Okay, I was just gonna say maybe that's part of like I don't know, because it's like a spirit Pokemon. They do some sort of like chant. They make little chicken noises for their little chant, maybe.
Well, its Japanese name, Kapu Ko Kiko, may be a combination of Kapu, which is also the Hawaiian word for sacred or holy, and Koki Ko Ko.
Okay, Koko.
Yeah, which is cockle-doodle-doo over there.
Okay.
I mean, the mask, the shield mask is a bird face. I mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual body of the thing, I don't see.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like his face is definitely not a chicken, but I don't know.
It's I mean, we mentioned that it's electric type, but it's actually also fairy. It's electric and fairy, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
That's interesting. That's new.
That would be that would be a new thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what weaknesses and just weaknesses. What weaknesses does it have?
Well, it's weak to ground, poison, and steel. So.
Mm-hmm.
But it has the ability Electric Surge, which automatically introduces electric terrain when you send it out. And personally, I've never seen or heard of the terrain moves being used ever, like competitively. But
not even casually.
Well, yeah, but it's interesting that it does it automatically this time.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me curious if we'll see similar abilities for the other types of terrain.
Mm-hmm. That would be interesting.
I would assume so, and I'm assuming it's going to be the other islands' guardians that'll have those.
That would make sense.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the other terrains is like fairy terrain, and this is an electric and fairy Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. So we could get a straight fairy type.
Sure, that's totally fair to say.
Mm-hmm. I've actually heard discussion that maybe, I know this is kind of going off topic, but Magirna, she might be one of the like artificial islands guardian. Because she's part fairy.
Steel fairy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All the guardians are part fairy, is that what you're saying?
Possible.
That is possible. That would be cool. Because they introduced this new type. There better be new fairy Pokemon.
Sure.
Yep. I do also really want to mention how much I like its English and Japanese name, that it's actually Hawaiian.
I do appreciate that, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure in 6th gen they had some, like, French-sounding Pokemon.
Like Vivian.
Yeah. And, the, like, flower fairy thing.
Source.
Yes.
Aromatous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like its name. I like its design a lot. I'm still a little weirded out that it's like a 2-word Pokemon name, because we've never had that. And don't say Mr. Mime.
No, the closest we've ever come, I was going to say, was Ho-Oh. And that's,
Yeah, but that's
a dash.
what it's hyphenated, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is Tapu Space Koko, you see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No other Pokemon is something space something.
Well, again, Mr. Mime and Mime Jr. both have a space in their name, but that's kind of a special case, in my opinion, you know?
Right.
Because those are more like titles than like part of their name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like, his entire name is just 2 words, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool.
Which I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. In fact, it's, you know, makes it more appropriately Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, what, really? It's 2 words? Okay, all right. It threw me off, that's all.
Yeah. There's a fish for everything. And, yep, like you said, it's appropriately Hawaiian. Like pineapple pizza.
Oh, boy.
Man, I have a feeling this generation's designs are going to be really good, aside from the 18 Pokemon we've seen so far.
Honestly, everything we've seen so far gives me confidence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like almost all of them, and if I don't like them, I don't hate them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I agree. All of it's looking so cool so far. Or most of it is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't like it, then I don't like it. I'm okay. If there's a design that I don't like it, or I don't like it that much. If that makes any sense. I don't.
You don't dislike it that much.
Yeah. Right.
I don't dislike. There you go. Yeah. I don't dislike it that much. There we go. Thank you, Rick.
Sure. No, I agree. I've yet to see a new Pokemon design that I've just been like, oh, that's god awful.
I mean, some people would argue Bruxish, but
yeah, a lot of people think that about Bruxish. I don't like Bruxish, but I don't hate it. I think it's fine. I think it's just fine.
Yeah. Better get used to it.
Yes, exactly.
I haven't been this excited for a Pokemon game since like maybe 5th gen.
I am finding myself very excited for Sun and Moon, which is interesting because I was not a giant fan of X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it looks very promising so far, and I'm excited to play it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they've gotten all the. Well, actually, I won't say that they've gotten all the kinks out of the 3D engine because they obviously haven't. Now that they are used to making games in 3D now, they can focus more on the rest of the game.
Yeah, on the story and stuff. And you're absolutely right. They don't have to model 700 Pokemon from scratch again.
Yeah.
So they can devote a lot of that effort into other things.
Yeah, they can. The game could be refined now, if that makes sense.
I am excited. A lot of the new features that we know about, like free for all, sound really fun. But also, they showed off at E3 that when you're like in battle with a Pokemon, you'll be able to click on something that will like show you what type it is and like what the effectiveness of your attacks will be on it, which is really, really cool, I think, because like people that are very hardcore into Pokemon, like some of us, already know all that stuff, but a lot of kids or adults who are just bad at Pokemon don't have every type combination and weakness memorized, and stuff like that just makes it more streamlined and easier for everybody of every skill level, and I think that's always a positive thing.
Right. Well, like even us, we have moments in Pokemon battles where like, oh shit, I forgot Fairy was strong against that, or I forgot that was super effective against Fairy. I could have been using that this whole time instead of dying and losing all of my team.
It does happen most often with Fairy because we have the least experience fighting with fairies because they're new. But yes, I think it's a cool thing to do to give access to that sort of information on the fly to people who might need it.
Yeah,
I think that takes some of the how should I put this? Some of the
skill?
Not skill, but like it makes the battle more about strategy and less about knowing everything about the numbers. It makes it less of a game of math, in my opinion, and more of a game of strategy. Like knowing exactly what the best move is will help people.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think it's just...
As I was saying, knowing exactly what the best move is, that makes it sound like it will make it less strategic. But I mean to say the opposite. Like,
well, yeah, you could even just
like if you just don't know your type resistances, you'll still be able to strategize on the fly. Is more what I mean.
I just think it's a good idea because we're rapidly approaching 1,000 Pokemon here. And knowing the type, like weaknesses and all that jazz for not necessarily 1,000, but quite a bit of them.
I mean, it's going to be over 800 after this game, for
exactly.
sure.
So knowing all the types for all that stuff can probably be really daunting for little kids.
Yeah, or anybody who's trying to get into Pokemon, you shouldn't have to memorize all of that. So you don't now, and I think that's great.
It is good. And also, it shows you boosts and stuff.
Oh yeah, that too. That's something that's really that can be very hard to keep track of. And Don, you kind of jokingly said that they're making it more like Pokemon Showdown, which is somewhat true. And I don't think that's like a negative thing to say. I think that making the game in every form, making it as streamlined and as accessible as possible, is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. So, Game Freak, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, they really are. One last thing I want to mention is I really enjoy the flavor text for all of these Pokemon and like the additional artwork that shows them like how they actually use the moves.
Yeah, I do. There's that one art of Komala like spinning around on the log. That's really cute.
Oh, that artwork's cool. I like it.
I agree.
It adds more depth to these Pokemon that I think they've been, not lacking, but I don't know. It just feels like they're really building this world.
Yeah, it makes them feel more like real animals that really live in this space, and it kind of contextualizes them and it shows that they've put thought into like how they exist in this world, rather than just being like, well, here's another like Pokemon for you to battle with. And it's got a cry and a footprint, I agree with that.
Yeah, the flavor text sells these guys the most.
So, of the newly revealed Pokemon, which is everybody's favorite?
That is a tough one.
Oh, that's
Not
not hard
counting-
at all for me.
I mean the new ones, not counting the starters or the legendaries. The ones that we talked about today is who I'm talking about.
Oh, like I said, that's not hard at all for me.
Okay.
Vikavolt for sure, without a doubt.
Good choice. Good choice.
Togedemaru.
I feel like I might have to go with Togedemaru as well. Big fan. But I'm also a really big fan of Vikavolt.
Yeah, I love Vikavolt. Reminds me of oh, Don, you would know this. What's the first bug monster in 4 Ultimate? That you fight.
I don't remember actually.
But you know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
It definitely looks like it, and I like it.
Big fan of that whole line, to be honest. It's not just Vikavolt that I think is great.
Right, it's rare that you have a full good line.
Yeah, usually the larval, not larval, but the cocoon form. Usually they suck. Metapod and Kakuna and Larvitar and Shelgon are all I just don't like them. I find them unappealing. But Charjabug, I think Shelgon is the worst. Yeah, easily. I hate Shelgon, but Charjabug is so cool. So I gotta give props to that for putting care and making a fun Pokemon out of even the ugly larval form. Yeah.
By the way, Josh, that bug from Monster Hunter 4 was the Celtis.
Yes.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Celtis.
But anyway, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
Thank you for being on the show today, Ricky, as well as Jeff.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me as well.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. And that's it for the Dragonite show.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.